Hi all, welcome to the channel. I'm as surprised as you are to see me with a car like this. I just had my hands on this, so I said I'll do an all review type video. So it's a 2021 Kia Stonic, and it has about 800 or something miles on it, and most of which I have put on. So it's going to be a bit of a review and my opinion on it as well, small bit. And it's one of my first these kind of type of videos, so bear with me and give me a bit of feedback as well at the end, what you think of it. I'll try to cover whatever I can about the car. So the price point of these cars. So first of all, it's a 2021 Kia Stonic, as I said, and it's one of them compact SUVs, so hatchback made into a small SUV, let's say. Not my favorite type, but you know what it is. So from a price point of view, they start at about 23,000 here in Ireland, and this one is the K3 spec or whatever they call it. So it's in perennial grey, the colour, or it might be some other grey, but if it's a perennial grey, or if it's any colour other than the white colour they gave you, it's €350 extra. It's just an option. But otherwise it has 17-inch alloys, and this car starts at about 25,000, just above 25,000, and it's a mild hybrid, so it has a 48 volt power battery along with a 1 litre turbo engine. It's a 3-cylinder engine. It's okay, we'll talk more about that. And I'll show you the interior now next. So for the interior, it's okay, it's very good for a car. But the seating position and the height, it just looks like any other hatchback, and to be honest, it's not even too much raised if you were to say from a feeling or viewpoint of view. Basically viewpoint of view, yes. So it's a 6-speed manual, as I said. You get a 8-inch, I think it's an Android head unit. You get Android Autoplay and Apple CarPlay or whatever it is. You get all those things. You get Bluetooth, you get all sorts of stuff. There's no navigation, I think, in it, but I haven't looked into it too much, to be honest. I like these controls. They're simple, but they're a bit slow. Like, you have to go through these things. I think, you know, there should be kind of buttons to manage the throw off the air. Basically, this is okay. AC button. I like these kind of things. It give a good high-tech feeling. I like this console here. You can actually put a full phone there, and there's a 12 volt. I like this cover. I've never seen this kind of thing before. USB. Few dry modes. You get heating seats, which is good, and seats bring me to that two-tone grey kind of cloth and leather. It's artificial leather, but it's okay. I actually like this color tone personally. It has all electric windows, but just the driver one is auto. But I think at this price point and at this day and age, you should get all automatic if you're getting electric wing mirrors and all that. That's good. You have in this side here metal pedals. They're okay, to be honest. I've never had any slips or anything like that, and there's kind of rubber lining on it which actually helps you grip the thing. And overall the plastics and stuff, they're okay. Like, they're not the very best, but this is it. And then I actually like these. It's kind of piano black. I remember from BMW color, I don't know what they call it, but it's kind of piano black trim, if you were to say. Steering wheel, I actually love the steering wheel. The feel is very good, very especially the physical touch of it. And all the buttons, they're fairly okay to understand. You get used to them fairly quick. It actually has lane assist, lane keep assist, so it keeps you in the lane. We'll see more about that on the driving, hopefully. And there's a steering wheel assist as well, which actually, once you're going through bends, it helps you. There's collision protection, especially in this spec, so all that good stuff is there. What else? I think it's okay space wise. If you look at me here as well in the driver's seat, it's okay. You have height adjustment, you can go back and forth, normal stuff, fairly okay position for what I say. And the steering wheel as well, there's a lot of adjustment there, and I actually prefer it here, or whatever, it depends when you're driving it. And that's for the front side, unless I missed something. And the cool stuff here, it's your you can place your goggles there. That's it, yeah. And normal stuff, pretty hatchback quality, if I was to say, to be honest. Like, it's nothing very fancy. So back seats, I'll jump in there just to show you how it feels. So as you can see, it's kind of struggling to get in, but overall it's okay. I think It's more legroom than my Astra anyway, so I believe it's a bit better than the hatchbacks, but it's fairly worse than an SUV should be like. And you have the electric windows in the back. Okay stuff, nothing too major. And if I was to go in the middle seat, it's alright, you know, to be honest, it's alright, it's not the worst. So you can see how would you manage, but it's properly for just 4 people comfortably if you're actually having a drink or something as well with that. So that's it there. And I'm not sure what else to say, but one thing I definitely have noticed before, and I've actually used it, once you're moving the seats over, to just get your seat belt out of the way, because usually with the hatchbacks they kind of come like that. So to put it back in like that, I know I'm struggling there, but it helps you kind of get it out of the way basically. So in the back side, I'm talking about the exhaust here, it looks cool, but it's actually kind of a metal cover which is actually onto the tip of the back box. So it's semi good. It's not the very fancy tips or anything like that, or it's not too fake if you were to say. But it's not a sporty car, so that's forgivable, I suppose. And the overall back, there's this kind of diffuser thing I actually don't like. It's too much of a awkward silver. It's not very best. It could be still grayed out or something. But the badging overall, it's very simple, it's straightforward. It's just what you would expect, I believe. And the lighting, I think personally, it's pleasant looking lights. They're not too awkward looking things, like, you know, they're not trying to be something else if you were to say. So that's that. Wiper, rear wiper, it's okay. It's usually like hatchbacks, very tiny, it just covers only so much of the area. But it's just something there. So the boot, I would have expected it to be a bit more bigger than this, but what you can say, I don't know the number off the top of my head of the capacity, whatever liters. I'll try to put it up on the video or under this description. And you actually don't get a spare tire, you get a tire mobility kit. I believe you can repair your puncture and all that stuff. And what's underneath there, then you would ask, is your 48 volt battery pack. And I actually think this is good because the battery is so accessible, and there will be a few DIY jobs down the road, a few years I think, but they offer 7 years warranty, and it's I think it's unlimited warranty on these, maybe for how many years they offer for the battery. So it's overall good. And the placement of the battery, I think it's nice because it's towards the back, so there's engine in the front, people, and the battery is towards the back, so it balances out a small bit. I think it's mostly like this in the mild hybrids. So that's that in the back side, I think. So if you take this out and drop down the seats, you're gonna have a fairly flat boot if you want, so you can slide things in. But as you can see, there's a bit of a, I don't know what to call this thing, but there's kind of a bit of a bridge to cross before you can actually put the heavy stuff in it. So that's it, I think, for the boot. So the fuel lid is on your left side, and then we move on to the rims. These are 17-inch rims or alloys. You can get 16s, and 16 is the only option in the K2, the smaller spec, the lower spec, and 17s come standard on these. And this plastic stuff, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of this. As you can see, I've been driving this for a while, and even if you clean it, it gets dirty very quick, and you start seeing all the mud and stuff on it, the grey trim. So you will have to keep maintained basically, if you were to say. But the color and overall, it's okay. You have the black here, and there's chrome lines going on, and there's kind of roof rack thing, I don't know. Maybe it lets you put the roof rack on or something, or whatever they're called. But overall, it's okay looking car, I think. And if you go far out, it's just a hatchback lifted up a small bit. And I think there's nothing too much changed otherwise, interior wise, as you have seen already. And if you look at the front side, I actually don't mind the front either. It looks like an electric car, like, you know, with this thing blocked off and everything. So I don't know what the story is there. The lights, these things here, so the signals are very cool. The bulbs inside it, and if you're looking at the side, you'll actually see these glow up as well. You have the fog lights, and I think the lights are gonna auto adjusting as well a small bit. I'm not too sure on that. So that's that from the exterior side. We'll take it for a small drive, and we'll see how we get on the road. So for the drive, general feel, overall feel is fairly okay. Like, I don't mind it at all. It's a brand new car actually, like, so you get used to it fairly easy, you know, it makes life easier. The steering wheel, the feel, it's light, but you know, it's okay, like, and the ratio as well of the turn is tight, it's smaller ratio, so it's very good in the bends. I got fairly used to it. But one thing I just couldn't get used to is the clutch. Maybe because it's a brand new car, but I was driving it for a good 4 or 5 weeks. And when you're lifting, when you're starting off in the first gear, and it's jerky, the clutch just comes off like that. Even if you're trying to control it, like, and if you push it back, it's not something I got used to anyway, right? But it might gets better over time. But I think the clutch is too jerky, especially in the first 2-3 gears even. So you feel it in the second and third gear as well. So like that, and that's that. But from the engine and the power point of view, like 1 liter turbo 48 volt, it's pokey enough in the start, when you're trying in the first couple of gears. But as soon as you go into the 5th gear or 6th gear, it kind of bogs down, like it's not for overtakes, if you ask me properly. Like, I didn't feel comfortable overtaking cars, which is maybe a good thing. So one of the things is it shows you on the dials that when to change the gears. So even in the 2nd gear or 3rd gear, once you hit 2.5k or something, it tells you to go into 6th straight away. And if you actually go there, I tried it for the fun, and it tells you to go back down then again, because it's just dependent on the revs, not the whole speed and the whole thing, if you know what I mean, coming from an engineering point of view. So that's that. Overall, if I was to compare it with my Astra or any other hatchbacks, because I'm a hatchback man, if you were to say overall, that's what I prefer to drive. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, from handling point of view. As I said, the suspension is a bit stiffer, so it's fairly okay in the handling category. If you were to say for a car like this, I didn't expect it to be this good. So if you're actually coming from hatchback and you want to try the sub SUV thing or compact SUVs, you can actually give it a go, I believe. But overall, for the money, if I was to give my opinion, I would get a hatchback or pay a bit more money to get a better or some other SUV even. If you're actually looking for SUV, it's not an SUV, it's a smaller thing. That's brutally honest with now myself. I think I've covered most of it. Overall general feel is good, especially the steering. So once I drove the Astra or some other cars, I actually felt that it was very hard to drive then, in terms of the steering feel. Like, it's very light. It's motor assisted steering wheel actually. It's electronically assisted, because they have to do that for their steering assist and lane assist and all that kind of stuff. So they have to have that, so it makes it a bit lighter. So I don't complain it too much, so I can live with that. So I think that's it. I have been doing too much talking already, so I'd say I will close the video off here. If there's anything I missed or anything you want to ask, you can ask in the comments. And thanks very much for watching. Please give the video a like if you actually liked it, and give me any feedback what we can improve. And please subscribe to the channel for more videos like these to come. And I'm going to try and do more and more different cars bring them onto the channel. And stay tuned for the E39 and E30 videos as well. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you in some other videos.